All right, everybody, welcome. It is Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. We're going to get into our end of day analysis here. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, well, about 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And remember, these levels that I'm giving you in the trade ideas, they're valid for 24 hours. So you can use these whether the levels get hit in the Asian session, the London session, New York, whenever the levels get hit, they're valid, right? So the NASDAQ level today didn't get hit until the end of the day. And we're going to go over that, but it was another fantastic call. We're going to look at all the markets here and see how my picks for yesterday turned out, and then see what we're forecasting here for the next 24 hours. So starting with the S&P 500 here, we've got ES. For those of you who haven't been following us, if you're new to the channel, check out volproedge.com where you can join the wait list, where I'm going to teach you guys how I do all of this, explain my indicators, teach you how to read these charts. But if you're just getting started here and following along with us, remember, this is the daily chart here, okay? These are daily price bars, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. We use all these together to get an idea of what we expect for the next 24-hour period. If you're a swing trader, you can do the same thing, but you use the weekly as your lowest time period. If you're a position trader, you can use the monthly. It's valid on everything. You can even use it to scalp, although I wouldn't recommend it because you can make a lot more money day trading or swing trading. Scalping is very, very challenging, not for the faint of heart. The reason is because the speed at which things happen when you're scalping, it's easy to make mistakes and get into psychological blunders like revenge trading and all this kind of stuff, right? So that's a topic for another day. Let's go ahead and jump into our analysis here. With the ES, what you can see is that we did finish lower. That's what I thought. I said last night, risk off. Everybody's going to sell everything. And that's pretty much what happened. I think gold and silver might have caught a bid. I thought they would be under a bit more pressure, but I think that's coming down to the fact that the dollar is just not catching a bid. We're going to cover all these markets. Let's get into it. What do I expect here with ES? Well, the weekly and the monthly are still pretty much in free fall. I have to think at this point that rallies are going to continue to be sold, but I also wouldn't write off a potential bounce here, right, guys? Because we've just gone straight down, and at some point, right, you're going to have people coming in chasing this market, and then it's going to squeeze, right? We all know how that works trading the indices, ES, especially NASDAQ. So what I would do if I was playing the ES in the next 24 hours, I'm not. If I was, I would be looking for resistance up into this 57.20 area because you've got a lot of daily levels stacked into that 57.20. You've got old broken weekly levels there. You got that old monthly level into that 57, 57.20. So that's what I would be looking for. Any attempt to rally up through that level, I would probably look to get short, okay? But is this a trade that I would just say, hey, this is my top end of day pick? When I start running the live day trading room, would I focus on ES for tomorrow? Probably not, because these are difficult markets to trade, you guys. When we're in free fall like this, it's not easy to trade. It's much easier to trade when you've got your frame of reference and you've got tons of levels stacking up on each other, right? Right now, we're searching for a new equilibrium. And whenever a market is searching for a new equilibrium, it's difficult to trade. So don't look at this trend down and go, oh my God, I could have, would have, should have gotten 100 ES points or what. No, nonsense, right? Guys, you're going to make your money mostly when the market is within a defined trading zone. That's where it's easiest to make money. Runaway trends, they look easy after the fact. They're very difficult to trade when they're happening, right? So not to say that you can't jump on board this trend. The thing is, you're going to have to wait for a pullback, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, what I'm seeing now on ES, that's your key resistance level up there, 57.20-ish, like I said, really right here at 57.10, anywhere up into that 5,700 level. You do have some support starting to form here, right? But I think the weekly is going to want a gun for 5,500 by the end of the week. I really do. So I would just continue to look to short rallies. That's my game plan. And I would be very careful getting caught in here. Yeah, you got that old high from yesterday, but on my levels, which we all know work very, very well, I would wait for this zone here. I just would wait. And if it didn't get there, I wouldn't even care because there are other markets. So let's get to the other markets and see what's going on. Because remember, you want to focus on the market that's giving you the best probabilities for the next 24 hours. That's why I cover all these futures markets. And when we start trading together in the live day trading room, I'm going to be focusing on my top picks. And when I'm doing that, I don't care what NASDAQ or S&P or whatever else is doing. If it's not on my top picks list, it can do whatever the hell it wants. I'm trading my top picks, right? And that's why we go through this list to find those top picks every single day, okay? So NASDAQ, same situation as ES. Look, you are into some weekly support here. You're right at this quarterly. This is a key level here, guys, for the NASDAQ, right? So this is also why you go through all these markets, because on ES, for example, let's go ahead and just quickly jump back to ES. Now on ES, do you see here, pay attention to the quarterly chart right here, where when it loads, you can see we already barreled down and through this key quarterly support level right there. Just smashed straight through it at 5,800, right? But on the NASDAQ, we're only just now approaching that key quarterly level. So when you look at the NASDAQ, you say, we're at that key quarterly support level. We've dropped an awfully long way in a pretty short period of time. Let's look at this. On the NASDAQ, we've dropped from 22,400, what's that, 22.2-ish, all the way down to a low of 19.2, 3,000 points. That's quite a lot, right? What are we down now? Is that about 15%, something like that from peak to trough? Don't hold me to it. I'm tired. It's 6 o'clock here in Costa Rica in the evening, just out on the beach building sand mermaids with my kid. So my math function ability is a little bit off, but generally speaking, we're probably down about 15% from peak to trough. So would a bounce be expected here at some point? Yes, it would. And if a bounce is going to come, I don't recommend bottom fishing, but if a bounce is going to come, where's it going to come? Well, of course, on the Vol Pro Edge key levels, which right here, you're at the quarterly. That's a key support level, yearly, right there, right? I still think overall the momentum is to the downside, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a bounce off this key quarterly level. So you're also into all this weekly support right now, okay? So interesting, we just opened, start pushing higher here. I'd be looking for the long side today. This is going to be a similar day to what we saw back on this day, where I said, look, if that level there breaks, look out to the downside, because it should not break. And when it broke, it was game on to the downside, right? It's the same thing today. I'd probably be looking to play the long side because we're at this key quarterly level. But with that said, if it started to break down, look out below. But I think you're going to see a little profit taking here. I think you may see some value buyers stepping in. I'm going to look for the support zone here on the NASDAQ. Okay, that's my pick. Now, is that like a bet the farm pick? No, it's not. The other day, crude oil was lining up beautifully with that short. I said, look, this is my top end of day pick. When I have those really good picks, I'm going to tell you. Otherwise, I'm just giving you the analysis as I see it. So I'd probably be looking to pick off a little bit of longs as long as this, general support area from today continues to hold. We could see one of these little temporary daily squeezes to the upside. Sometimes the daily likes to rally like that, suck in a bunch of longs, squeeze the short, suck in a bunch of longs, and then reverse like that. So we'll see, but I'm going to be looking for the long side. All right, let's go ahead and look at the Dow. Let that load. And this analysis is going to be short because I can see the NASDAQ may be about to pop, and I want to go make some money on my personal account. And I got to get to that, as much as I would love to go over all these markets in complete detail. We will do that once we launch the course. We've got a lot of people joining the waiting list, which is awesome. You can do that at volproedge.com. Join the Discord. It's in the link in the description part of the video below. So join the Discord. Lots of cool people, like super engaged real traders that have been burned by Furus. Everybody's coming here. Everyone who's serious and wants to learn. And I'm active in the Discord, but it's more you guys just sharing information. I'm too busy, putting together the course and doing these analysis for you guys. But a lot of people are using these levels and they're doing really, really well. And by studying these videos in preparation for the course to be released, you're going to be, light years ahead of anybody else who's not studying these videos, because I'm giving you a lot of value, a lot of information in here in these videos that we're putting out before we launch the course, which hopefully will be in about 3 weeks is my guess. I'm going to give you guys some freebies, some introductory lessons as we lead up to the actual launch of the course. We have enough people now, so we will launch it. We will have the live day trading room, and that's where you guys can see all this really shine, is in the live day trading room. I can't wait to do that with you guys because that's where you just wait for these key levels, and then you use my intraday system, and it's just like, I don't want to say it's shooting fish in a barrel, but it really stacks the odds on your favor. Do I have losing trades? Of course. Do I blow out accounts? Yes. Do I have losing, days? losing weeks? I do, but overall I make a lot of money. And that's the key. It's probabilities, right? So let's go ahead and look at the Dow here. Same thing. You know, you're at this key level. The Dow still looks weaker. You broke through that key monthly level. It's not the one I would bet on for this bounce. I bet on the Nasdaq instead because of that quarterly level. But just be aware there's some support here. All right, the Russell I'm not even going to cover because nobody cares. We will cover that when I start to do these in full detail teaching every day when we launch the course. But for right now, like I said, I got to get to my own trading. I'm eager to maybe catch a little quick Nasdaq long and make some money. So we'll quickly look at the bonds, gold, silver, and wrap up with a dollar and Bitcoin. So here are the bonds. Wow, really slammed down there. So that's a big intraday reversal. So I'd say now bonds are a little bit under pressure. If that's the case, that's the fear trade is maybe not as pronounced. So stocks could now catch that bid with bonds seeing that reversal there. So I'm going to be looking. This adds more strength to the argument for long NQ in my view. Let's go ahead and quickly look at gold. All right, so gold did end up bouncing. I thought we had the potential to roll over here. We didn't. Again, it wasn't a top pick or anything, but now you're back up into this resistance level. So if it's going to be a little bit risk on, maybe bonds sell off a bit, the NASDAQ catches a bid, maybe ES catches a bid, maybe even the Dow catches a bid, then I would expect gold to sell off out of this resistance level. So this is not a bad little resistance zone right here. This would probably be one of my top picks for shorting gold right here because you're back into all that resistance that we've been covering ad nauseum. So I would really like to short against this level here on gold. That's pretty clear. I don't expect the price to just blow up and through that resistance level. So that's a pretty good pick right there for gold. Your level is right where we're at right now, 29.20 to 29.30. Just pay attention to the dots. Remember, when we launch the course and everything, guys, you're going to have these charts and the indicators on your own screens, whether it's Sierra charts, TradingView we're developing. Eventually we'll do Ninja charts, so Ninja Trader. So no matter what platform you're using, you will be able to have my charts and all these dots and lines giving you the key levels so you can watch them intraday. And of course, we'll be in the live day trading room anyway, so you'll be seeing my charts intraday. But gold, I like that short right there. Let's quickly look at silver. Probably much of the same, a little bit of a relief rally. I think that's what that is on gold, just a little bit of a relief rally and preparing to roll over if bonds are also coming under some selling pressure and the indices catch potentially a little bit of a dip, right? But looking at all this, if I had to bet on one right now, I like that gold short, you know, more than anything. I like the NASDAQ long. I'm probably going to look to pick one off here as I get off this video. But guys, you've got the levels here, and this is why the live trading room is going to be so key because these levels are there, but trading is fluid. Trading is dynamic, and you've got to, you know, watch your intraday charts and how they react to the levels and make the decision, you know, how to trade them, right? So here's silver catching a little bit of a bid here. Big strong day for silver, much stronger than I expected for sure. Yeah, you've got a lot of resistance up in here, but I don't know. The gold resistance I kind of liked a little bit better. Silver's looking tricky to me there. Let's go ahead and look at crude, and then we'll look at natural gas, dollar, corn, and Bitcoin. Let's let the crude chart load here. All right, guys, so looking at crude here, you know, found some support down in this general level. Would I buy this? No. Would I sell it? No. Kind of choppy. That was the short we nailed the other day. I would stay out of crude right now. Let's load natural gas. We'll do a summary at the end of the video. Right now, I'm liking gold from the short side as kind of my top pick. And I do think the indices could have the potential to bounce here with bonds coming under pressure. And, you know, maybe this drop taking a little bit of a break. But again, be careful, right? You don't want to catch a falling knife. That's just what I'm seeing on the chart with where we're at right now, especially driving into that key quarterly support level on the NASDAQ. That's a key level, guys. Doesn't mean it can't break. It just means the odds after a 15% drop like this, you may see a little bit of a bounce to the upside off that quarterly support level. So that's what I want to bring to your attention here with this analysis video. Super important. All right, let's go ahead and let natural gas load. Then we'll look at the dollar against the euro. We'll look at corn and wrap it up with Bitcoin. Remember, please, to like and comment. I know not that many people share the videos, but if you can share, you have some trader friends, it helps. But really just liking and commenting helps a lot. Let me know if you're trading the levels, how you did today, what you're looking at tomorrow. I respond back to you guys. You guys can also comment back and forth to each other. It really tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, there's something real happening here. and it makes the YouTube algo want to drive it out to other real traders and save them from the furu. So, think about all you guys who, we're all coming together here on this channel. We want to bring it to other people too, right? We don't want other people wandering in the dark, lost in the woods with these furus, just being taught bull flags and bear flags and a bunch of BS, quite frankly. So please do help spread the video and get the YouTube algo to push us out there, because we got a lot of good momentum going and it's very exciting. And remember, again, join the wait list if you haven't already, volproedge.com, because if you're on that wait list, there's a questionnaire. I know what type of trader you are, what you're struggling with. I'm going to create the course and the live trading room and all my teaching to address your guys' issues specifically, right? It's going to be a product developed for you, the trader, and it's just going to be awesome. There's nothing else like it out there. And by getting on that waiting list, it tells me how many people are serious, and it also tells me who wants to have some perks when we launch the course and the live trading room. People on the waiting list are going to get better pricing. They're going to get priority on other things. I've got a lot of auto algos I'm going to be launching in the future. So guys, get on that waiting list. It's important. All right, let's let natural gas load here. It just takes a few minutes. And you'll see here on natural gas, I did say that I liked the short play because the longs were trapped. And depending on what the range was today, it looked like that was a pretty good call, kind of a tight range depending on how natural gas ended up. But the resistance level was solid for sure. Yeah, now I just stay out of this. It's like crude. It's just very choppy. It's a good place to lose money. So don't trade natural gas in the next 24 hours unless you probably want to lose money. That'd be my advice there. And as soon as this finishes loading, we can go ahead and jump over to the euro against the US dollar and then wrap it up with some corn and some Bitcoin. All right, well, you can see when Nat Gas finally loaded the reopen here, we are gapping lower. So, that short call from yesterday was a good call on Nat Gas. But again, it's looking like there's a lot of resistance building up here on Nat Gas for sure. So I'd definitely be in favor of the short side. I would just want to wait for it to kind of break out a little bit. Yesterday's call was good for the short, but today you're still kind of range bound. It's tough to read. And you can just see these energy charts, as always, just take a day and a year to load because of calculating all the info here for Volpro Edge. A lot of calculations go into making sure these lines and dots get put on the screen, and that's why they give such good key levels. All right, guys, here's the euro against the dollar. And yeah, I mean, look, I thought this thing, we're moving inside the envelope. I thought we could have rolled over, and we just can't roll over here. I really thought that would happen. And if you were watching this intraday, that'd been your first clue. As you start to see the euro squeezing higher and bonds selling off, that's when you want to look for that long at the value area low when you're day trading the NASDAQ. That's why you saw that wicked reversal out of those lows today. And in the live trading room, we're going to be able to catch all these together because I'm going to be pointing out to you in real time, right? But I'm just pointing it out to you here in the end of day analysis so you know what to look for. Really important. So yeah, I mean, the euro just continues to grind higher against the dollar. Greg Manarino, cool guy. Check out his channel. He was talking about this as well, that there's something going on here because, the market's under pressure. Bonds were catching a bid. There's a bit of a fear trade, but the euro just keeps squeezing, which is weird because there's not that flight of safety into the US dollar. So something is changing, and we don't quite know what that is yet, but it's really interesting to see. So with the euro, yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to expect here other than we got a strong daily trend run. So probably going to continue to see strong buyers come in there on dips for now on the euro, which if bonds sell off and the euro pushes higher, then I think that leads some credence to the long on NQ and ES and the Dow as an example, right? Yeah, and I would be probably more careful with that gold short if I see the euro continue to squeeze higher. But then again, this works both ways. If we are going to see a bounce on the Nasdaq and ES, which we could, and bonds are going to sell off a little bit, then gold could take a hit because it's a little bit more risk on back in the markets here, right? So you got to put all these things together. All right, let's go ahead and finish off here with somebody likes corn. We'll check corn out. Corn's been very, very difficult to read the last few days, so I haven't recommended doing anything with corn. Hope that's helped you out. And then we'll finish off with Bitcoin, and we'll see where we're at and what we got shaken. So corn here, just let it load. Give me a sec. Yeah, guys, kind of more of the same here for corn. I mean, this is tough to read here. I really, I can't give you a whole lot with what we got going on here. So I would pass on corn for right now. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin. And remember, we will be rolling over to the June contract here, probably at the end of this week is my guess for the indices. Um, so keep your eye on that. You're going to probably be rolling to the letter M, which is the June contract, out of H, which is March. Okay. So be aware of that. We'll cover Bitcoin here in a second when it loads. All right, guys. Well, looking at Bitcoin here, you tagged all that support down there that I was kind of keeping an eye on. I thought maybe the weekly would want to gun a little bit lower, but you're already getting picked up here. Still a lot of support on the monthly, a lot of support on the quarterly. So, yeah, not for the faint of heart here, but it looks like Bitcoin could try to continue to push higher out of this dip, especially if the dollar continues to suffer, euro catches a bid, bonds are under pressure. Keep an eye on those markets. If NASDAQ and ES start to squeeze a little bit higher, if that happens, then probably Bitcoin will as well. So keep your eyes on that. And I will leave that with you guys. So the summary for the day is a mixed bag. It's not a market right now where I would be taking a lot of risk. There could be some good plays out there, but you got to be nimble and you've got to be watching these markets during the day. So example, today, you see NASDAQ picking up support at the value area low. I had some key levels there. And this is another thing I'm going to talk about in the course, but my resistance level for the NASDAQ was whatever that was it 20,700? I can't remember, but we were a long way away from that without ever having touched it. So that's also a clue that you're going to want to go back and sniff out that resistance level. So when you see bonds selling off, you see the dollar catching a bid, and then you see NASDAQ start to round at that value area low, probably going to want to make its way all the way back to my resistance level. The resistance level ended up being a good short anyways, right? But these are the types of dynamic plays that I'm going to teach you in the live day trading room, where we go over this and we watch it all happen in real time, because that's where you get the best edge, is by looking at Vol Pro Edge, looking at these markets, the levels we're calling out before the day starts, what we expect, but then how is everything interacting and playing out throughout the day, and that influences our trading decisions. All right, you guys, take care. Please do like, share, subscribe. Go join the waiting list. Join the Discord in the description below the video, and I will see you guys all here tomorrow night. Take care. Good luck with your trading. Bye-bye.